So I'm going to talk while driving because I've got a lot to get put into these first few videos, talking about different things. But my life up until this point, it's been a great life. Like I'm happy, and for the most part, I've been very healthy despite my weight. But I started gaining weight when I was in 8 years old, and then in 8th grade I was about 170 to 180, and it got big real fast. So from there, I haven't been under 200 pounds. I was 200 pounds by the time I was 20, and I haven't been under that since then. When I had my daughter, when I got pregnant with my daughter, I had been dieting. I'd been, keto and meal prepping and stuff. And I was about 225 when I got pregnant with her. It was my first pregnancy, and I actually got so sick during that pregnancy I could barely eat. So when I had her, and shortly after, I dropped the weight really quickly, and I was about 215. So since then, since she's 11 now, I've gotten to be about I think I've gotten up to like 260, 265. I think I'm a little lower than that now, but we're gonna find out today when I weigh myself. And I mean, it's been really hard because, like, I had this moment last year where we got on an airplane, and I like to travel. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I got on an airplane, and I went to go put the seatbelt on, and it was like the strap was all the way out, and it wouldn't completely go to the clicker. And to say that, like, my heart dropped to my feet, and that sick feeling of just like absolute angst, and disappointment in myself was really hard. I think that particular belt might not have been regulation size, because the next plane I got onto, I did not want to ask for a belt extender. Obviously, like, my pride, like, I was just too mortified to even ask, but the next flight that I got onto was the belt was normal, but there's only like just that much space left, in the strap, and when I do, put it on. So I hated that experience. That was awful. But I think about, like, all the different things, like every single day that I deal with, the frustrations, and one of them being, like, just not being, like, being on a plane, and like feeling like I'm crowding other people because I don't fit in those tiny little seats. And I mean, nobody fits in those seats. Like, everybody's uncomfortable. It's way too close for comfort. But, like, for a heavier person, it's, like, someone who, it's not like we don't care. I don't want to touch other people. I don't want to be in their space. And so I sit there, and I literally am like this ball of like, all my muscles are tense, like, and I'm just trying to hold myself up off of people. And there's been times where I'm like, well, I mean, if my arms touch their arms, it's not that big of a deal. But, like, no, nobody wants, like, Americans have a 2-foot, personal space radius. Like, you just don't want to touch a complete stranger. So that was not something I wanted to do. And it was frustrating and sad, but, like, it's the same when I go to my daughter's, performances. Like, we sit in these auditorium seats, and, like, I always choose seats in the back, far away from everyone else, so that I don't have to sit right next to anyone. So I hate that. It sucks. Everybody wants to come sit by me anyway and talk to me, and I'm like, you can sit one seat over. It's stupid. But emotionally, there's just so many things every single day that I have to adjust myself for, or I think about that, like, they feel so time consuming to do that. And I hate it. I hate it. So I need to change it. I want to live my life. I don't want to think about this stuff anymore. I just want to live my life. I want to travel. I want to enjoy my family. And I just, I want to wear clothes that I don't feel like I'm a stuffed sausage in. And there's just, nobody probably thinks these things about me, but like, it's probably, like one of the hardest things that is to think about for yourself and to acknowledge for yourself. So, I'm sure that anybody going through this process is probably going through the same things, but it's not fun to worry about, to someone put off by the fact that I'm so overweight that I'm like half spilling into their seat, in an auditorium. So, that is an emotional toll in and of itself. So if you've been there, you've been there.